Have you ever walked into a room and felt watched? Not just noticed, but really watched. Every move, every expression. Chances are you convinced yourself everyone was paying attention, but they weren't. Your brain just wants you to believe they are. You step in and suddenly something shifts. Your hands feel heavy. Your posture feels off. Your walk becomes calculated, your gaze deliberate. Even your face, every tiny muscle feels like it matters. For a moment, it feels like a spotlight has landed on you, and somehow you're standing right underneath it. Maybe it happened in a classroom, at a party, in a meeting, posting a photo online, or just crossing a crowded street. Nothing unusual is happening, yet your brain reacts like hundreds of eyes are quietly turned toward you, watching, evaluating, judging. And here's the strange part. Part of you knows it probably isn't real, but knowing doesn't make the feeling go away. Because this feeling isn't logical. It's all about perspective. And perspective can be misleading. Imagine a movie filmed from a single camera, one angle, one lens. You see everything through that view. Every conversation, every pause, every mistake. That camera is your consciousness. You witness every stumble, every awkward silence, every minor slip. Nothing escapes your attention. But everyone else? They're starring in their own movie. A story where their mistakes feel huge, their insecurities take center stage. Here's the twist. Your brain assumes others notice you the way you notice yourself. But they don't. Most people are too busy with the spotlight in their own heads. Think about the last crowded room you walked into. You probably worried about how you looked, how you sounded, whether you seemed confident. Now, try recalling what everyone else wore, their expressions, or the exact words they said. Most of it is gone. Not because you weren't paying attention, because you were busy being you, and everyone else was doing the exact same thing. This illusion persists because our brains evolved in social environments. Belonging meant survival. Rejection could have serious consequences. So our minds became hyper-aware, scanning for signs of judgment, a glance, a pause, a reaction. Even today, we sometimes overreact. We check our appearance multiple times, not because anyone is watching, but because our brain fears judgment. We replay conversations in our heads, not because others are thinking about them, but because our minds treat social mistakes like unfinished business. The spotlight effect isn't really about other people, it's about identity. Inside each of us is a character, a version of ourselves built from memories, experiences, successes, and failures. The version we hope others see, and the version we fear they see. That's where social anxiety thrives, between those two selves. Not the mistake itself, but what it seems to reveal. The fleeting thought, they saw something I didn't want them to. And here's the irony. Most people aren't even looking. They're too busy worrying about their own spotlight, their own story. A room full of observers with almost nobody observing. Millions of people live their lives feeling watched, while everyone else is feeling the same about themselves. Perhaps that's the most human contradiction. We carry a spotlight that feels enormous, yet it exists almost entirely in our own mind. That doesn't mean we go unnoticed. Kindness, energy, presence, they are seen, but rarely with the intensity we imagine. Nobody experiences your life the way you do. Nobody replays your mistakes frame by frame. Everyone is the main character of their own story, just like you. Here's the quiet revelation. The room was never looking at you as much as you thought. The spotlight wasn't hanging from the ceiling. It was attached to your perspective. Once you realize that, something subtle changes. The room feels bigger, the imagined audience feels smaller, and for the first time, you can simply exist without performing for people who were never really watching. Because the truth is, most people aren't staring at you. They're standing beneath their own spotlight, wondering if anyone is watching them. And in that space, you finally breathe.